Good morning, everyone. I want to share my screen right off the bat today. I've got a presentation that I want to share, and I'm going to go into screen share. Can everyone see my screen? Just a real quick thumbs up. Yeah, we've got it. Excellent. Okay, interesting title here, isn't it? How to get out of the mess. How many of you feel that way from time to time, or maybe more regularly than you would like? That as you look at what you're trying to achieve with your business and you look at what you're currently experiencing or have experienced, that it feels chaotic, it feels messy, it feels unstructured. You need focus, you need clarity, you need direction. And critically, I want to get my goals achieved. I want to get some money in my pocket. I want to get my business booming. Okay, I like what Maggie's done. She's done the thumbs up. If you know how to use the emojis in your chats, in your screen, please do that. Give a thumbs up if you recognize that, or maybe if you relate, put a note in the chat. Again, let's share thoughts here. This is going to be a candid discussion of how we can acknowledge this, but critically, how do we get out of it? I love this quote by the Dalai Lama. Let's start with this to get an overarching theme here. He said this, and it's great to acknowledge here that he is a Nobel Peace Prize recipient. No matter what part of the world we come from, we are all basically the same human beings. We all seek happiness, try to avoid suffering. We have the same basic human needs and concerns. All of us human beings want freedom and the right to determine our own destiny as individuals and peoples. This is human nature. We seek happiness, and we want to learn from adversity. Very true, this, isn't it? So the critical question is, of course, how does that relate to our Nikken business? Well, in business, we have happy moments and we experience adversity. We get to appreciate them both. We certainly want to avoid the suffering in business, but we can't escape it. And I share this simply to establish a critical foundation that if we do feel mess, if we do experience chaos, if we do experience setbacks or adversity or disappointments, that this is part of the life cycle of business. The critical thing is we don't want to stay in that place. We want to acknowledge it, give it its rightful nod, but then critically, we want to be able to move forward from that place to a place of strength. That's what I want to focus on today. How do we do that? I've shared this little fable before, but I want to repeat it today because when I shared it last, I think I got it wrong. So I'm owning up here and confessing that maybe I was a little misdirected when I first shared this fable. I came across this fable when I was managing director of our European business back in 2012. The fable is really simple. In this pretty little forest are two particular creatures whose lives intersect on a daily basis. A beautiful, charismatic, attractive, and ever so clever fox, and a dowdy little creature, this little hedgehog to the left, that burrows around looking for his food, isn't particularly fast or clever, but it knows one thing amongst its burrowing and foraging. It knows how to protect itself. But the fox always wants to trap and catch the hedgehog. It's what it does. It's a predator. And so every day he seeks new ways to be clever, to outsmart, to outthink, to outperform the previous day on trapping and tricking this hedgehog. Maybe a new corner to jump out from, a new tree to hide behind, a new shrub or little bush to hide and to sneak up on this little hedgehog as he burrows for food. But every day it results in the same thing. Just as he's about to pounce, or as he does, that little hedgehog curls up into a ball of spikes and defends itself. Every day, no matter how clever and how smart, how sexy and attractive that little fox is, the hedgehog always wins. As it says here on the slide, the fox knows many things, but the hedgehog knows one big thing. Now, this little fable was turned into a business principle a number of years ago, and it was identified if a company could be more like the hedgehog and less like the fox, If we as entrepreneurs could be more like the hedgehog and less like the fox, how much better off we'd be. So many times in this, especially in this digital age, we feel this great competitive need, don't we, to keep up with the Joneses and be clever at everything, look extra attractive, all the more appealing, extra fast, extra informed, all these other qualities that make us compete with people that maybe we don't even need to compete with, when maybe we need to be a little bit more like that hedgehog. Know that one big thing and then nail it and do it with brilliance. So the hedgehog concept is this. What are we deeply passionate about? What can we be best in the world at? What drives our economic engine? And of course, where these three important questions intersect is where we find our answer. Now, what is our economic engine? What drives that? What can we be best in the world at? What are we as human beings or as Niken business builders, business owners, are we deeply passionate about? Now, I said before, just a moment ago, that I think I got this wrong when I first introduced it. What do you think? We mentioned before, I'm going to stop the share for just a second and ask some questions. I pondered this deeply. I investigated. I asked a lot of my leaders when I was running the European business, what is our hedgehog concept? What do you think it is? You know, what's our core fundamental activity or behavior that can really see us propel to excellence and success? For a long time, we advocated that the hedgehog concept for Niken was developing or duplicating silvers. Maybe you've heard us talk about that, yeah? That if we can just help people get to silver and then move them along that chain and just create this ongoing machine of silver development, that would be something that would really see our business explode. And of course, it would. Every royal diamond was a silver first, yeah? You grow from that position upwards through the ranks. These are the key milestones on that journey upwards. But is that truly our hedgehog concept, or did we need to simplify a little deeper, peel back a few more layers and get to a core that we hadn't answered yet? Madeline's saying, can I answer? Yes, you can, Madeline. What do you think?
I think it's a hybrid. And I've listened to Sean Everett twice on this core $100 auto ship. And if you have 100 people with $100 of auto ship. And I remember back to Marty Jeffrey, and it was ROC, retail only customer. I don't know if it was rock and roll. Maybe it was rock and roll. I don't know. It's been taught and to duplicate it. And we've always had the rule that we're supposed to have 5 customers. I think it was just maybe the way it was presented or our interpretation. I don't know. But as I listened to him carefully, and as I look at my other customer base, which he said, wholesale customers that are always on auto ship, the people that I've had for 22 years or 14 years, however many, that have never missed a month, are on a minimum of 100. Well, one with 900 a month of auto ship for the whole family, and humans being more, and sleep and water. They invested in the wellness home concept. And I think part of the schizophrenia is it's retailing is our business and spinning off silvers is our business. And I heard you say when you were presenting the 500, and yet I've looked at this teach 3 to reach 3 and the 500. There aren't too many on, even with the little patches that Dave sends out and so forth. That has still been a challenge. We have these top 10 retailers that have all that, but then everybody else still hasn't had all of that. There aren't a lot of people with 3 at the first level, including people on this call here that have those 3 with 500. So that has been, it seems like there was this switch. You need both. You need, and qualifying silvers make qualifying golds, make qualifying royal diamonds, and qualifying anybody's needs to have real customers. And we've heard that 80% of our business are real customers. And so I think it's both. And maybe
Yeah.
the hedgehog, as you're describing it, the hedgehog might be those 100 minimum, not just our own. And I think Mike said a week or two ago, if we want to keep the skincare, we have to be more than a consumer of the skincare.
Yeah.
And so, yes, we need to be promoting all of those kinds of items and wellness subscriptions now, wellness subscriptions.
Okay. Well, we've got a couple of answers popping up in the chat as well, along with you saying a hybrid of customer business building. We've also got humans being more coming out a couple of times or 3 times here, popping up in the answers. Let's see what I've put down and see how we fare and agree. What is the hedgehog concept? What do I think it is? At the foundation, at the core, it's the customer. It's the Nikken customer. Let me talk about why this is the case, and we'll move forward from here. And you'll see, by the way, those of you that put in humans being more, you'll see in the following ensuing slides how the HBM experience is woven into the customer activity and our experience. If we have HBM as a core concept, it gets a little bit too obscure from a business building activity. How do I convert that into a day-by-day activity? I'll talk about that too. So we've got the HBM philosophy and cause, but at the center of what we're all about, it has to be the customer. The product enhances lives, the product pays commissions, and the product builds the business. I'll put down here what I consider 5 key benefits to being customer-centric as business builders. First, we get our own personal use benefits. As we become a product of the product, we get to share what we love and love what we share. That in itself becomes important because it's critical for us as we build our business to do so with a degree of authenticity, right? Convincing teaching comes from conviction. So the more convinced we are of the value of these products, the better positioned we are to promote them with passion, with enthusiasm, and with excitement. Secondly, it provides, especially for new people, quick wins. It builds confidence. As soon as I join the business, I can share a product with someone and immediately feel like I can do this. Even if it's a member of my family, if it's my next door neighbor, there are immediate opportunities to win. And when I have a short or immediate success story, what does that do for me? It tells me I can do this. I can do it, right? There's so much more achievable in acquiring our customers as a first level activity than anything else. Third, we get retail profits paid weekly. That's fantastic. If people have immediate needs, they can get immediate returns. In the age that we live in, that becomes increasingly more important because people's attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. You know, all of a sudden we've gone now, if you want to grab people's attention on social media, if you're going to use video, we know, gosh, it's a 1-minute video, it's a 30-second video. We've even got social media apps right now that are all about producing personal video content where the length of the video is like no longer than 12 seconds. It's incredible this, isn't it? So attention spans are going like this. Incentives, if you look at the incentive programs that Nikken has created, they can provide you incredible rewards as a business builder. And it also provides you a framework and a business plan. And you'll notice that this framework and these rewards are focused largely around the acquisition, retention, and engagement of meaningful customer activity. Yeah. And this fifth one I think is critical. We can sell according to our own strengths, meaning if I want to be a Sean Everett and sell online, I can sell online. If I want to do it person to person, then I can do it person to person. If I want to do it over the phone, over Zoom, over Skype, build my own websites, have my own in-home meetings, whichever is the strategy that you prefer, and that we can manage under the current pandemic requirements, of course. We've got flexibility. That's great. Wes is saying, my best, most committed customers are signed up as consultants. Yeah, I think all of the most loyal customers are also consultants, aren't they? You know, I think the average consultant, especially it seems those that are in leadership positions, seem to be the ones that have the highest consistent order volume for their personal use, because they have become so engrossed and so committed and so loyal to these wonderful products, have had such a difference. So yes, some of the most loyal customers are consultants. Consultants are both, aren't they? Now, I want to ask a question here. I've combined some pictures here on the next few slides of some moments that I've enjoyed since I've been in the field. These have all been taken since I've been a distributor. Got pictures here of San Diego, that's in Mexico. I think that was in Florida. This is in Italy. I think that was in Florida as well. This is here in the UK, some of my great teammates here in the UK. Some wonderful experiences. And of course, look at these smiling faces here, cheering, loving Nikken every step of the way. Of course, I've got a question here. Do you see a theme? What's the theme here? What does Nikken offer its product ambassadors? What's it offering in these moments? This here is in, someone answering? No? Okay. This here, this one on the top left is in Miami with Herbert Patino and his team. And we got this again in Florida. This is in Susan Carver's home, one of my much valued and much loved team members, doing an in-home presentation in Susan's home in Orlando, again in Italy. This is in Cancun. And we've got some people here that have qualified for these trips that may not have big businesses, but they've got a lot of customer activity. And that's interesting to note as well, isn't it? A lot of customer activity going on. A healthy community of like-minded people is what I'm seeing popping up here in the chat. Okay, what else have we got going on? Just a few more. Okay, this here is in France, in Paris. Again, this is in Texas. This is in Toronto. This is in Toronto here as well, I think. And this one was out there on the Amalfi Coast, I think it was, out there in southern Italy again. Some great moments here. But what are you seeing? What's the theme here? We're talking here about, Maggie, you say we can't see your share. Can you not see the slide?
I can see it.
You can see it? Okay, maybe Maggie's having some challenges there.
I can see it.
Yeah, so what's the theme? Any particular theme that you're picking up on these slides?
Incentives?
Lots of love.
Lots of love.
Positive energy.
Collaboration, ABCs.
Fun.
Yeah, this is something that's important to point out here. Sorry, let me go back just one second. I'll stop the share. When we talk about being customer focused, that at the heart of our business is the customer. No one else on the planet will have Nikken customers. Only we have Nikken customers because we are Nikken. Yeah. And we offer something that goes above and beyond a customer experience for business owners. Yes, we provide each other a vehicle to go out to share product, to enrich lives, to make people's health improve. We've got that 5 pillars of health though, haven't we? That as loyal customers ourselves and as business drivers, business owners, we get to experience more than just the product. We get to experience community. Yeah, and there is something here, and to me that taps into that HBM, the essence of HBM, because we truly cannot become more if we're by ourselves. Haven't you noticed that over these last few months, whilst we've been having our social interactions compromised, that we've got this yearning, this pleading inside of us to get out and to reconnect with people. We can connect virtually, but nothing replaces that heart-to-heart experience that we can engage with when we're face-to-face. I looked at these pictures and I put them in because amongst all of the experiences of connecting with customers and doing the Zooms, what really resonated with me was the interactions that I get with people. Yeah. So our Hedgehog concept is really founded upon two critical components that are interrelated. And I separated them out in my slides for a deliberate reason. Yeah, that because the human element, the community, when we try to get into the mechanics of that, if we just put it under the umbrella of HBM, becomes some kind of mystical, misty, hard to define and hard to action activity as a business builder. But when I get concrete and I say specifically it's about customer acquisition, retention, and engagement, then I know all of a sudden what I'm about as a business builder. But in order to flourish, to thrive, and to love what I do, I see the benefit of that being built on the foundation of a humans being more environment, a place where we can build communities, communities of customers, communities of like-minded friends and business builders, where we all get together and we thrive together, we grow together, we love together, we support each other, and we have that experience together. The community is fundamental, but at the heart of it needs to be a focus on looking after and nurturing our customers. Because if you look at those pictures, it was the customer that got those people together. Yeah? The people that won the trips were the ones that had the customers. The ones that were there at the events, I would imagine that the commissions earned from those products sold, those retail profits and those group overrides, those commissions probably paid for those trips, paid for them to go to those meetings, helped them get together as a community. And the rewards were financial, but the rewards were also here, weren't they? What we become when we get together. So we've got two things here that we need to focus on as we build our Niken business. One, we reach out to customers, we share our products, we recognize that the incentives provide a framework for business growth and business prosperity. And we recognize, as Barbara Richmond has just said, that at the heart of that, in order for us to succeed, we have a clear motive. When people understand our motives, and when that comes through authentically through how we act and serve, we do better, right? And when we are driven by that heartfelt community, where our desire is to help people to become more, then all of a sudden things change. We have a different experience. The feel-good factor changes. Our reason for serving changes. Our devotion to service changes. When we touch one life, when someone comes back and says, oh, my back, all of a sudden, I'm moving with so much more flexibility and mobility. You wouldn't believe how much that's changed my day-to-day living. Now I can go on walks again with my spouse. Yeah. Now all of a sudden I don't feel so restricted. I feel more liberated. I feel more independent. My sense of well-being has changed. When we have influenced someone in that way, it feels good, doesn't it? What does it make us want to do? Do it again. Do it again. If there's any time where we want to be greedy, it's got to be in moments like that. Yeah. If there is ever such a thing as good greed, yeah, or appropriate selfishness, it's got to be in those moments where we can say, yeah, thank you for giving me that opportunity. If you want to give it to me again, I'll be up for it. Yeah, we want to do it. Now, my time has passed. I wanted to go into a few more slides of how we can strategically go about making this our focus. Just really quickly, I want to go back here. I hope you're getting a theme here that what's really important is we need to change our language and be more customer focused in the way that we talk and the way that we build our businesses and what drives us here. So as it comes to setting goals, I've got down here what, when, why, and how. Some simple questions, right? And I'll save this. I'll go through these slides as a preview now. I'll come back to them next week and we'll go through them in detail next week. But what I want to talk about is how can we get our product focus at the front and center of our business and have us moving forward? Specifically, how we can go about planning in a meaningful way that gets it focused in our daily activities. And then, of course, let me make sure I'll stop the screen share. There we go. How we can get that drilled down in a way that applies to our own personal skill sets and our own areas of strength, and also exposes where we're vulnerable so that we can then know what we need to learn and change in order to improve. Okay, so next week we'll go into that. But I wanted to do this as a precursor, perhaps, that our Hedgehog concept is to be focused on customer acquisition, retention, engagement. Niken customers, Niken people that know and love and are loyal to our wonderful products. This is something that can resolve so many concerns for business builders because we have so many great experiences, so much wonderful feedback from customers on a consistent, perpetual basis. That's why in a couple of weeks' time, we're celebrating 45 years of being in business. That comes because people love our products, yeah? So, but at the heart of it, what's made that work and what will make it work moving forward is our commitment to that foundation of humans being more and the 5 pillars of health. When we can integrate that into a strategic plan for our activity that has our core values at its foundation and it feeds all the way through into daily activities that we can be focused on that generate results that can be shown at the end of the week, then we're going to be developing a model that people can truly thrive and prosper in. And that's what I want us to see happen in the course of our business in a way that can start immediately and can grow robustly from there on out moving forward. So next week, we'll talk about the mechanics of how we can do that specifically, tangibly, and enjoy some of those benefits of being together and enjoy that community, as well as the profitability in our bank accounts as business owners. We want to enjoy both the fruits of those labors. So thank you very much. We'll be in touch next week, of course. If you've got any questions, reach out. I'm always available throughout the week, as you know, to support you and help you in achieving your goals. Thank you very much, and we'll speak to you next week. Take care.
Thank you, Ben.